Glory to the swarm, brothers and sisters. I am your cult leader, Cheese. Today, we have another Cultist Coaching session with Comrade2K7. Comrade2K7 is one of the earliest converts to the Rhino Wasp cult from YouTube. So, looking forward to seeing how we can help him out. The notes he gave me on this replay was that he would love some feedback. It was a win, but felt he was a little behind. So we're going to take a look, see where we can improve. Before we get into the game, I'd just like to thank you for taking the time to like and subscribe. Spreading the gospel is a great way to meet new people and learn new words. Some you may not even want to repeat in polite company. Okay. Comrade is offered speed and rhino. I do like rhino spec. The opponent is offered aerial, giant, elite, and supply. So our opponent here takes elite. So elite can be both a good thing and a bad thing for us. If they begin to stabilize, then they can start to overwhelm us quickly after the fact. But early on, it makes it really hard for them to shift directions to defend against the high tempo play. Now technically the gospel is not a high tempo play, but right now we are going asymmetrical aggro, and that is pretty high tempo. We are pushing it. Since we're going to be converting to the gospel, depending on how this works out, I see us coming over here on the strong side or over on the weak side, depending on when we decide to deploy the flank and what the board state looks like. But for right now, we have a pretty good push. We have some chaff clear, we've got our steel balls, and we've got some fangs. The opponent buys an arc light and another pack of fangs, so we don't have any crawlers to worry about. We just need to get into the fangs and kill them with the hounds. Opponent manages to guess the side that we are deployed to and loads up. So this could be good for us. Hitting these level 2 fangs with the hounds could get them some early levels that we could really use. Steel balls, getting kills on them is always nice. Unfortunately, steel balls are getting eaten by the level 2 arc light. But once we kill that, we'll get some more good experience. There we go. Okay, did any of these level? Steel ball did not level yet. Probably not going to. Hound did not level. No, so it doesn't look like we got any levels. But can we kill the saber? We do kill the saber. So this winds up being a win for us. That's good. Now we're forcing the opponent to respond. They guessed the right side and still lost. We just need to keep pressing our advantage. Okay, couple of crawlers. So I kind of like this. So if Comrade takes the 2 crawlers here, we can deploy them. I would, at this point, if I'm going to deploy, I'd deploy to the weak side. I would place 2, well, we can't do 2 because we won't have the money. But we could do the 2 crawlers, and we could do a wasp, or we could just throw down the 2 crawlers here. We could technically do 3 crawlers. Not a huge fan of that. I don't like giving away everything until the wasps are in place, but putting down all the crawlers could potentially force the opponent to build chaff clear. Now we respond to that by building more wasps. Then they build anti-air. We respond to that with rhinos. But we'll see how this goes. The Farseer is also a good option. The Void Eye is pretty strong, but I would probably sell it if I bought the Void Eye. Don't like the Tarantula quite as much in this scenario. It's strong, but it's going to be walking into these saber teeth. Alright, opponent takes a Farseer and puts it in an aggressive posture over here on our left side. Okay, it looks like Comrade is going to buy wasps and a couple of crawlers from the drop. Let's see where these go. Looks like he had the same idea. Oh, opponent buys burst mode already. Okay, we're going into the strong side flank. Yeah, that can work. Okay, opponent has taken off burst mode and gone to a more defensive position. It almost seems like the opponent is reading our board and anticipating our moves. It's kind of interesting. opponent buys some crawlers. Okay, are they going to put those over here as well? Okay, they'll put them on our end. Not a big deal. So we've got triple crawler on the flank with a wasp behind it. It's not bad. This right here will cause some problems. We'll need to take care of that either with a missile or potentially with something else. Oh, okay. So Comrade loans on round 2. So we'll pause real quick. So I love the aggressiveness. Getting the second wasp into the flank, I think, is a good idea. However, on round 2, when we're loaning, we're not going to be able to take range on round 3. And that's okay. We're going to have, a lot less money. We'll still be able to buy our chaff. We might be able to buy another pack of crawlers and another wasp. But loaning this early without getting any techs, it can cause us some problems. So I think here we're going to wind up pushing through these fangs, taking the tower. We might die to these fangs because we don't have range and they're level 2. Depends on how well we can clear them from the front. And then I'll just be cleaning these up. The tower timing over here from this level 2 crawler taking it as well could cause us some problems on our flank. That's likely about to happen around the same time that our units finish warping in. A lot of this is going to get pulled over here, so this round's probably not going to go too well for us, but let's take a look. It is a transition round. Oh, yes, and the Farseer. Yeah. So it's going to be a little tough here. We're going to take a look, though, and see what happens. So that inopportune tower timing is going to lead to the demise of our wasps and our tower. So we've loaned on round 2. We've lost the economic advantage, and we've lost the round. When you're going to loan like this, you really need to make sure that you're winning the round, and what you're loaning for is to win the round. I don't know that I would have done it differently. If I'm feeling a round 2 wasp flank, I get it. Like I said, maybe just go with the 2 crawlers or even 3 crawlers and a wasp. Leveling up this tower is always a good idea if you're going to deploy everything on one side. So we had other options. We didn't necessarily have to force it that early. Another option would have been to play these 2 crawlers behind our steel balls, behind our hounds. Just to come in as some more chaff to help us with this early fight. But we're here now. We, as you can see, only have 450 this round. Our opponent has 600, and that's because we loaned. So if we wanted to, we could buy another crawler and another wasp, or we can buy something to deal with this, which I would buy a missile at this point, and focus our deployments on the attack. So right here, what I'd like to see is a crawler and a wasp, and then a missile. We'd have 100 left over, and we'd use that to level up this tower. We'll still lose it to these level 2 crawlers, but it'll take them a lot longer, and it should give us a better chance to start clearing this out over here. Now, our opponent does have an opportunity to respond. With 600, they could put down 2 level 2 Mustangs, and right now, because of the position we're in, we would definitely lose this round. Luckily, we are coming up on round 4. We know that we're getting a Rhino, and we kind of want them to put down the Mustangs. We hope they're right back here. We put the Rhino here, we click armor, we click range, and we buy some more chaff. It'll be a really good round 4, but round 3 right here is going to hurt, I think. We might come out with a victory, but it's going to be a small one. Alright, so we skip. Okay. The shield airdrop is a really good pick there, but I think we wanted the money. So that gives us 500. Our opponent takes the fire. Okay. Yeah, I could see fire across the front. That would take out quite a few of our units. If they put fire over here, though, it's not going to go great. Okay, so we're going to get 2 hounds. So we're using 2 deployments here to take care of these crawlers. That is a little close to these level 2 crawlers. Because they're level 2 and our hounds are level 1, they will lose this battle. We have 200 supply remaining. Our opponent's going to buy 3 level 2 arc lights. Okay, so they are not respecting the flank. We haven't given them a reason to. They're going to clear our chaff. They haven't committed any sort of anti-air besides the Farseer and the Fangs. It could be good enough for them. We take level 1 defense. Okay. We've leveled up our Hounds and these Steel Balls. Another option could have been to take the Beacon. We know fire was offered. We could attempt a beacon around it. However, you know, it's okay. We kind of figured this was going to happen. We do manage to get some good experience killing these level 2 arc lights. We're not going to get a level here. We're not going to get a level here. So we are falling behind. Our opponent definitely has the advantage. This Rhino next turn is going to be a make or break for us, I think, because this is going to be pretty big. Yeah, we're already down to about 3,000. 2776. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, so this Rhino. Foresee the Rhino coming in right here. We'll click range. We'll click armor. We'll have 300 left. With that 300, I would buy another Wasp and another Crawler and put them on the flank. I know we are losing over here, but we've committed to the flank and we either need to sell out now or we need to commit to the bit. If we're going to sell something, I'd say these level 2 Steel Balls. They're not doing anything. These level 1s aren't doing anything. Yes, there was fire, but we've already abandoned this push. So let's focus our money, our supply, where our focus is. So I'd like to see these balls sold. Another Wasp, another Crawler, range, and armor on the Rhino, and maybe some missiles for these Crawlers just so that we don't get interrupted. We really need to get levels on the Wasp this round. If we don't, I am not sure how this will turn into a win unless we start doing some good shenanigans. So let's see what Comrade does. Alright, none of these cards really help us here, so this would be a skip. The nuke, if we take it, would take all of our money. We've already been negative economy 1 round this game. Don't really want to do that right now. Okay, we do skip. Good. We've got the missile down for the Crawlers. There's the Rhino. Okay, we're going triple deploy. Nope, we're undoing. I do love the undo button. That has made my life a lot easier. Okay, so the opponent has actually sold this flank Crawler. That's really good for us. That was an actual distraction that was causing problems. Now they flipped it to the other side. That's not so good for us. There's the tower level. I like that. You know, regardless of what happens here, that tower level is helpful. Okay, so we're going to get another level 2 Rhino. And a level 2 Wasp. Yep, level 2 Wasp. Okay, that's a good spot for it. It's going to wind up taking out these Crawlers. So, going back, we maybe didn't need to take armor just yet. It would help us against the Fangs, but the Fangs aren't really a problem right now. Thankfully, our Rhinos are going to start tanking the Farseer shots here. We're going to clean up these arc lights. And we're able to push in from the front now because they sold the distraction over here. So, the Wasps were not able to clean up the Crawlers that came in. But thankfully the Rhinos do take out the Farseer. We're able to push in from the side. And we should be able to clean this up. These Farseers are now stuck shooting over here. And here comes the swarm. Alright. Now, 1 level 2 Rhino is hard enough to take care of, but 2 level 2 Rhinos is really strong. We clean up the Fangs, and there we go. A good win. We need these levels, so let's pause it. Right now, I'm thinking efficient tech research. We know this is a tech-hungry build. We have not taken any techs yet. So for 100, we get the technology. That puts us at 950. Levels puts us at 750. Range puts us at 450. Armor puts us at 250. Then we can throw down, say, Crawler over here to slow them down and allow the Wasp to clean up. And another Crawler here if we want to continue to expand the flank. That would give us still our 2 deploys. We would get our technologies. And we would be able to, keep making a push. But levels are the biggest priority. Levels and range here. I'd like to see what Comrade does, and then we can go from there. Nuke is offered. Glad we didn't take... Okay, he does take efficient. Good. Yep. Levels in range immediately. Smart man. I did my math wrong when I was going through that earlier because I didn't account for the reduction in cost. So yeah, we're at 500 after taking levels and the tech. So at this point, the world's our oyster. We definitely need to do something about these crawlers. And these crawlers. Armor on the Rhino is good. Puts us at 350. There's another wasp. Into the flank. Yep. Okay, and then crawler also into the flank. Yep, okay. So I'm guessing we're going to missile one of these two packs. This burst Farseer. Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to do a hefty chunk of damage to our rhinos. I'm really glad we took armor. That armor with the extra 50% health, it may not be doing much blocking on these missiles, but instead of taking 2,700 damage, 10 times, we're only going to take 2,580 damage 10 times. It does add up. It saves us about 1,000 damage per salvo. I'm not sure if there's a breakpoint in there. I haven't done the math. But 63,000, let's see. Yeah. I'm sure there's math to be done. Okay, we managed to save the tower this time. But not for long. We take our tower. Can we kill this Farseer before the debuff ends? Because that would be huge. Oh, that burst salvo is really weak into the with the debuff. Yes. This Rhino should probably die unless the Saber doesn't get another shot off. Beautiful. And here comes the swarm. Range makes a big difference. We get more levels on the wasps. Those are huge. Alright, so we skip here. None of these help us. That's a good skip. An easy skip. So, okay. Well, I didn't pause it in time, but I was going to say ground spec would be a really good get right now. Everything that the opponent has showed us is on the ground. They are elite. So, everything is also more expensive. It's not as easy for them to match chaff, although they probably should be. We can take this level on the Rhino. That'll get us over 90,000 HP. Really helpful. These steel balls are doing a good job. With everything being pulled off to the right, they're just coming in and cleaning up. So look at that. Top damage last round. Fantastic job. Opponent made a big mistake selling this crawler, which was pulling our steel balls towards the flank instead of to the tower that we were pulling all their defenses from. Okay, so we take Photon on the Rhinos. So we have now double-teched our 2 units. Not sure what the Photon was for. Maybe Comrade's thinking that take 30% less damage from these missile salvos, which I could see that. I think the money could be better spent. Again, our opponent is our opponent is elite spec, so deploys are at a premium for them. We've shown that we can win this flank, so they need to commit more resources to defending over here, even if it's just missiles. But if it's more deploys, this is a pretty open path over here. We've clicked ground spec. If we can start bringing another pack of Rhino Wasp Wasp or Rhino Wasp or even just Crawler Wasp Wasp over here, the crawlers would eat the burst mode really well. Maybe we go like Crawler Rhino Wasp, bang bang bang, then we charge in. Maybe some of those crawlers take some saber-tooth shots. The ground spec on the Wasp would eat the saber-tooth. It could be a good time. But I mean, this looks pretty good. The Photon's probably a little aggressive. I would have rather seen this level taken. And I want to also leave the second tech open to reacting to how the opponent's responding. Okay, so the opponent is going to take 2 packs of wasps and give them aerial spec. Okay. I'm guessing the opponent's going to put them too close to the flank. No. Okay. They're charging in hot towards our tower. We are now at a level 3 tower. Okay. Opponent has not leveled up their towers. They are going to beacon them in. So we are going to... Well, this level 3 tower, we do have 60,000 HP. They don't have ground spec. So I think that if these get stuck on the tower, we might be able to clean them up while they're shooting it. Unfortunately, some of them do turn. Can we kill some of those, though? Can we get this tower? We do get this tower over here. Not in time. But we're going to kill everything. The only thing left are these wasps and this Farseer at this point. We have both rhinos alive. The photon coating did a good job of tanking those missiles, like we talked about. We are going to lose one rhino to the Sabertooth under debuff. But here comes everything else. Farseer throws a salvo into the already dead rhino. Really good for us. Ground spec wasps eat it alive. And here we come. Opponent's going to take this tower, but I don't think it's going to matter. They're going to have so few wasps left. Without having range on their wasps and without having ground spec, they get stuck on our chaff and our rhino. All right. Unit reinforcements. So real quick. I want to see levels. And I want to see a missile. Opponent's not running jump drive. So worst case scenario, they sell this and the missile hits the crawlers. That seems like a win-win to me. Best case scenario, we take it out. Or they add another one behind it, we take them both out. They do have fire backup. I can see the fire coming here. I could also see them putting it here. But if we level these rhinos, we level these wasps, we're going to run through this flank again. Units offered, there's a boat. I like the boat. I actually like the Phantom Rays too, but maybe not to stick them over here. I would almost consider doing a frontal push with the Phantom Rays from over here. Maybe sell this Fang just to open up the positioning. Put down Crawler, Phantom Ray, Wasp, beacon that in. And then use the other Phantom Ray coming from maybe, back here. We need something to distract, maybe a Crawler on the side to pull over this Farseer. With the, I know he beaconed last round, but with the burst mode, any bursts that are going into chaff instead of into our hounds or our wasps are a win. We're still doing a good job of pushing on this side. These steel balls continue to perform because the opponent has not been able to commit any defense to them. Again, their best defense against it was this Crawler that they sold here. So let's see what we do. Okay, we do take the boat. Where are we putting the boat? I don't like the boat over here. I do like it over here, pushing in with the steel balls. Okay, we're going to sell it. That's fine too. We get our levels. Those levels are huge. Those are some beautiful rhinos, some beautiful wasps. Level 4 with ground spec. Okay, the opponent has taken burst mode on the Phantom Rays now as well. So at this point, if I'm Comrade, after this round, if we don't win, I'm thinking maybe I need to get AA on the wasps just to deal with these Phantom Rays. We'll see how it goes, how they position them. But right now I'm not feeling too worried. I would like to see missiles over here just to allow us to engage with the wasp a little bit sooner. That is a lot of Phantom Rays. Oil and burst. Well, okay, that's a choice. So we'll take 2 more wasps. Okay, there we go. They're both over here. Yeah, we're pushing in with our steel balls. I like that because, as you can see, all the aerial defense is focused on the flank. The front door is open, as we like to say. With a beacon, it would be even better, but this is still pretty good. So the opponent oils. Burst mode does chunk down our rhinos, but we are able to take out most of the... Yep, alright. There we go. All of the phantom rays are now dead, except for these over here. We've got the tower. We don't have any chaff because of the fire. That's okay. We have our wasps. There's not a ton of anti-air left. Luckily, we have numbers here, so we are able to fight through the debuff, taking them out. Okay, so I can see why Comrade felt that the game started to slip away from him here at the end. Alright, let's talk about this. So, right here, the intensive training is a good choice. None of these other ones are really useful. I've tried elite crawlers before. It's pretty fun, and it's funny, but 300 cost crawlers is not it. Maybe as a finisher, but not in this scenario. Although, no, there's too many air units. It would be really funny though. No, I would never suggest that. I've tried it before. It's too expensive. You know, we don't want to be spending 300 on chaff units. But anyway, we'll take the intensive. So what I'd like to see here is either a level on a rhino or a new rhino coming from the front, giving it levels, or just increasing the levels on one of these wasps even more. These wasps are doing a lot of work. There's not a ton of chaff over here, so we're getting to tear through things really fast. At this point, I would almost consider selling this wasp, leveling up this tower one more time, putting it at 130,000 HP, level up this tower once. Just focus on making a death ball. You know, we have essentially reached critical mass over here. Let's continue to push and overwhelm. This defense over here is not really gaining us anything. It's feeding some experience to these wasps. And, you know, it is doing some damage. It's cleaning up some of it. It's not a ton. So I'd like to see more pushing in this direction. I'd like to see us buy a beacon, especially for these rhinos. We could beacon them in. What I like to do sometimes is take the beacon so that it just touches both rhinos, bring it over here, right into the tower for the middle rhino, and then across so that they both are heading for the far tower. Another alternative is to take what I like to call the Roxas beacon, which is you take this back rhino and this back wasp, and you beacon them through the defenses, avoiding the tower entirely, and aiming specifically at the back tower, the undefended tower. Just trying to push through the backside and, you know, get a couple of quick towers so you can overrun with everything else. So let's see what Comrade does. Let's see how this looks. Okay, we take shields. I don't know that we needed shields. The burst mode is going to blow through our shields and continue to kill the wasp because it is 10 individual instances of damage. So shields against Farseers is not that great. Shields against the Phantom Rays, again, not that great, just because it is multiple missiles even without the burst mode. I think I would have rather preferred to see anti-air here than the shield. But this is okay. So we used the level up to make a level 5 wasp. I do like that. We've taken level 2 attack. Okay, we have lone range and speed. Good. So yeah, we feel that we need to push through, so that's what we're doing. The opponent now has double-teched their fangs, bought some level 3s. Okay. It's a good call by them. We don't have a lot of chaff clear. I think at this point it's too little too late, though. They keep loading up the middle without leveling the tower, so as soon as we kill this tower, we're just going to clear all of those fangs. The oil is going to slow down our steel ball push, but our wasp will get in, yeah. So these leveled up wasps have just obliterated the Phantom Rays, and our level 4 Rhino here just tanked everything. Yeah. So I can see why Comrade felt the game might have been slipping away. If the opponent made a few different decisions here, it could have easily gone the other direction. But that's part of the gospel too, is that the opponent is forced into an uncomfortable situation and has to deal with an aggressive push from their flank. This is a good oil by them. Again, I would have liked to see another push either coming from the middle towards the left or even in towards the right. Could have beaconed it around this oil here. Put a missile in front to pick up any chaff. In this case, it would have taken out a pack of fangs. We didn't know these were here, so a frontal assault around the oil we didn't know the oil was there either. So frontal assault either way, even if we're coming through the oil, cutting across, our wasps are going to take out the fangs pretty quickly. They've got 351 health. Our level 1 wasps are doing over 600 per shot. So even if we only had level 1s, each one would take out a fang and we would quickly chunk them down. The fangs are doing 274 damage though, so they would start to hurt our rhinos. If we had a level 2 here with armor, that reduces that down to 150 damage per shot. Still a lot of damage when you consider there are 24 of those fangs. So every second the fangs would be doing, assuming a full pack of fangs. Every second a full pack of fangs would be doing about 3,600 damage to the rhino. And that could wear it down pretty fast. That's about 5% of a level 2 rhino. But it's not going to be enough because we'll be cleaning them up with the wasps. All in all, pretty good game by Comrade. I definitely would not have taken the attack enhancement 2. Maybe 1, but I would have liked to see this push. So obviously we won, but let's just take this over. And let's see what happens. So we're going to skip. We're just going to lone range speed. So we're looking at this. Take our levels. Okay, so when we take our levels, we cannot afford to get elite recruited Rhino Wasp Wasp. So what we can do is we can go Wasp Wasp, elite recruit our Rhino, and we can missile this out. We're going to sell this hound to buy a beacon, and we're going to stick this right about here. So what we're going to try to do is thread the needle here. See if we can get past this pack here and into the tower quickly. Now, actually, we're not going to missile that out. We're going to missile in front of us because that's the smart thing to do. There we go. So now we sell this, get our beacon right here. And actually, you know what? Let's just missile this. It'll make our life a lot easier. There we go. Yeah, all the wasps are dead. We can quickly clean up the phantom rays. His wasps do come in and start shooting us, but we're going to get that backside tower. We're now going to finish cleaning up over here. We've got a level 3 coming in. We're going to take this tower now. And even with having this middle pack of wasps, even with adding all these fangs in the middle, we've got 3 rhinos on the board now. We have punched through, and we have delivered an overwhelming blow to our opponent. Again, these being right up on the line, it's almost a crime not to missile them every time just to get those wasps out of there. Yeah, it doesn't kill the phantom rays, but that's not what it's for. These wasps, these level 1s, did 22,000 damage. These only did 9,000 because they were mostly tanking for these, from these. But we just pushed through. That extra tower allowed us to clean up on the left. We did the same with shields, but as you can see, this was a little bit more effective as far as damage. This is because we're taking the tower sooner. We're eliminating a big threat from hitting our tower and giving us a debuff. And we're able to clean it up. All in all, really good game from Comrade. Thank you for sharing it with me. I hope you found this helpful. If anyone else has a replay they'd like for me to review for a coaching video, please submit it in the replay channel on Discord. You can find a link to the Discord in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. For all you cultists out there, give me a glory to the swarm in the comments. I am your cult leader, Cheese. I'll see you in the next one.